Hey y'all, it's your girl Millie Chun, and we're back with part 2 of Carlos King's interview with Quad Lunsford. Let's get into it. Okay, so we open up with Carlos asking Quad how she felt when Simone delivered the news that Quad had to go and she could no longer sit with the girls, right? I'm gonna let Quad tell you how she felt, then I'll be back.
In that moment, I felt humiliated. I felt devalued, actually not valued at all. I felt hurt, disappointment, sadness. I was confused. I kept on, when I went back to my room, I was trying to wrap my mind around, like, why did you really do something to them this bad to deserve this? Did you really do something to deserve this, Quad? And I thought back and I replayed things. I went through all the years. And I felt like
Quad.
It wasn't about an even exchange. The decision.
Okay. First of all, Quad, I'm gonna need you to put a battery in that smoke detector. That's driving me crazy. Secondly, I'm gonna have to give it to Quad. Like, tears or the idea of tears. Like, when Quad said that she went back and watched the other seasons to see if there was something that she actually did to the women, then she would have seen what they were talking about. But I'm just going to say this, and I'm just going to put it in my terms. It doesn't matter how, like, if you feel hurt by your friends, I don't know if Quad feels like she would have just had to curse all them out, fire them, or whatever. Whatever their hurt from their friend is their hurt from their friend, right? And it could, I know it's more than Sister Circle, but I'm just going to stay right there. The performance at the Sister Circle episode was hurtful, Quad. Have you apologized for that? Like I said, you should have shouted them out first and then went to Sister Circle. Because here you are getting put off Married to Medicine, who has outlasted Sister Circle, right? You should have humbled yourself at some point. That's what the problem is. And then she goes on to say that no, she was not warranted this, right? And she said no one gave her a chance to speak. Because you have spoken, as people say in monologues, might I add. And you're still not saying anything. You're not being humble and you're not being apologetic. And they don't want to hear that, yes, the same has happened to you. They want you to acknowledge what you have done to them. Let me keep going. So Quad is still saying that the women need to take responsibility for what they've done to her. Now, I'm not saying, I don't have like total recall of that, right? But she's saying that she wants to be heard and she's been treated differently and she feels like she's been disrespected and there is a level of respect she will never get. But she said that she wants them to hear her. But Quad, are you hearing them? That is the question at hand. Am I tripping? Y'all let me know. I mean, like I said, I enjoy Quad on my TV. But this right here, this is the craziest thing. If Quad truly watched this show back, right, then this little clip that I'm about to talk about will help her understand why she and Toya are in such a bad place. Hold on.
Hell, I think maybe Toya did an interview or something with you, and was like, oh, Quad is ugly, and Quad is this, and Quad is that, without her hair and without her makeup, and, just carrying on. I'm like, well, what is all of that? What is that for? What is that about? Do you hate me? That's fine. And I can leave you where you are if that's where you want to. If you want to stew there, then you hold on to that anger. Toya, I'm not here to hold on to that anger.
The thing is this for me. I think I did hear Toya say that. I think I heard her say that, or someone said she said it. I got it, right? But you accused her of cheating on her husband with people in the neighborhood. And, well, I'm saying that's what Toya said. And you also accused her of breaking in Anila's house. That's a little bit more than you not cute with your wigs on or makeup on. Do you see the difference, Quad? Like, do you really see the difference? I'm just asking. Help me out. So Carlos asked her how does she feel after she got the call to come to Toya's room and they tell her that she needs to leave. She felt like it was a plot, a plan, and a scheme, and they already knew that they wanted her gone, right? And people have been talking about the dentist is the next one up. There's a distinct difference between the dentist and Quad, right? Although the dentist is ridiculous, she is like, she shows up as their friend. Even with the stuff with her and Sweet Tea. As much as the dentist has talked about Sweet Tea, she does have moments when she's like, I'm sorry, I apologize. I shouldn't have done this. If I hurt you, this, right? She will do that. Quad hasn't even done that, right? And she talks about how she shows up humble. And then she also talks about if she had known that this would have been it, she would have told production that maybe another time. Let us work it out. Well, Quad, if you don't watch all these shows, then you should know what you're working out. You know why these women are mad at you. You already know that, right? Every time you say, let's work it out. I knew that there was something we need to work on. You already know. Let's keep going. So she did say that she does not believe that Toya and Eugene are thieves. Eugene has a career. She was like, no, there's no way. I believe that. But you said it, or you implied it. So maybe you should apologize for that part. Then she threw Carrie in it. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it about yourself, Quad. That's what they're saying. And then when she got to talking about the mugshots, she couldn't even keep that about herself. She had to throw Gregory in it. That's the problem, Quad. It's like you're in it, but you also want us to know who else is in it so we can take some of the focal point off you. If you focus on the focal point, then I don't even think it'll be that bad. Does that make sense? So she went on to clear it up on this interview that when she says she's standing on it, she meant for Toya to tell her or tell them more information about where they got that information that she said Toya was a thief. You should have made that clear at the reunion. It's been years now. This is crazy, Quad. So it seems that we have a reason why the ladies did this to Quad, right? Carlos said as he's thinking as a producer, he's thinking they're punishing her for the front end of the show because she was not on when the show started. So they're going to take her off on the back end. And Quad agreed. She said she did feel like she was being punished. Is that how that goes? So Carlos tells her that mainly the biggest problem is they feel like you don't take accountability, Quad. She said it fell on deaf ears at the table. She said that she was saying that she has not been a perfect person. She wants to do better. She wants to fix things in the group. Then she went on to say that maybe her delivery is not right. Maybe there's different ways that she could have said things. And then she said, I had to really think about it and put myself in other people's shoes. I was good right there, but then when she said, and maybe they'll put themselves in my shoes, that's the problem, Quad. You won't stay in everybody else's shoes long enough for them to just figure things out. You always want somebody to see your side. That's the problem. I was glad to see Quad call Carlos to the carpet about having these confidentiality conversations with the dentist, right? He had even though he stuttered, he had no choice but to speak up to it because we've all heard the dentist talk about Quad's money on these platforms. Good one, Quad. This is Carlos's face after Quad tells him that the dentist has told her about her own contract. And also that the dentist knows things that she should know. Who is talking to the dentist? Yeah, I was trying to keep this for one video. I'm going to have to go into a part 2.
I'll be right back.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Millie Chun, and I'm back with part two of Carlos King speaking to Quad Webb. Let's get into it. So Carlos asked Quad, like, how did she feel about the apology that the dentist gave her publicly, where she added Quad? Hold on. This is the said apology. I posted this, right? And a lot of people were like, well, the dentist didn't know because she said it was edited. But she filmed the show that was edited. So she's aware of everything that happened in the show. So her apology was here. I just watched episode 7. I feel so bad. It was horrible. Damn, I want to cry. I'm so sorry. Absolutely, Quad. This was too much. You did not deserve this. This was her apology. Hold on. Now, we all know Quad comes with the theatrics, right? She has given us monologue even in this interview. But when you're right, and I'm on that side, right? So I feel Quad on her reaction to the question that Carlos just asked her. So let's get into it. And I want to know how you feel about it too.
Heavenly can call me anytime she wants. Heavenly can call me anytime she wants. Don't matter how late it is, don't matter how early it is. You made a public apology. And I'm not upset at that. But you couldn't call me so I can feel that it's sincere. She texted me. She did text me. But my phone, and honestly, I'm going to answer the phone for any one of them. Even right now. I would answer the phone for any one of those people who call me. Any one of them. But the public apology and the text message, I'm like, why you text me? You know better than that. You can call me. We can talk. We talk a lot. Let me hear your voice, please.
Now, Quad said they talked a lot, she and the dentist, right? This person said, however, phone works both ways. Have you reached out to her? She said, yes, I have. But clearly it wasn't a reach out when it mattered. If you can pick the phone up and text and tell them you're sorry or ask how you're doing, just hit the little phone that's on the phone and call her. Maybe she is talking to Quad, but she's not talking to Quad when it matters. I hope that makes sense. So the dentist is right back being the dentist, right? Honey Ham asks, what are your true feelings on this episode? Specifically, this particular clip, when they got ready to vote Quad off the island. Her reply was, I really feel bad for Quad. But the truth is she gave them her butt to kiss. Until she really thought it was the end. Let's keep going. Before I say what I'm going to say now, y'all, Quad is literally talking in this interview like she is reading for something. Like, it's not even like interviews. You know what I'm saying? If you watched it, you know what I'm talking about. And if you've seen some of these clips, the way Quad is like she is literally reading to be in a movie. I don't even know how Carlos is really taking this in. I would like to know what he feels about this conversation he's having with Quad. That's the real question that I would like to know. I think I might ask him that. But Quad is really trying to get these tears out. Like, she wants us to believe that this right here is just these tears coming out of her eyes. It's not happening, Quad. So stop. But she says she's really hurt, right? She says she's really hurt. She says that since, though, she has had conversations with the women. And some of them have also given her advice. She says that life is too short and she does not want to live in a place where she's holding on to something, right? That's good. Y'all, at this point, I think Quad has worn Carlos down. I think he's heard everything that a lot of people have been talking about and the monologues and the pauses between them. Not saying that Quad is not telling her truth, but it is a little fictitious. Like, You got... Look at Carlos. This was a screenshot. How is his blink this slow? But watch his eyes. Let's get into it.
I dreaded watching the last 2 episodes. Dreadful. Dreadful to me. Didn't want to see him, didn't want to watch him because I didn't want to be in a place emotionally where I am now. It's not a good feeling. It's sad. It is... It feels like I'm grieving. That's what it feels like.
Carlos about to go to sleep.
When all of that happened, like, I was so confused. Like, Carlos, I didn't eat. I was not getting very good sleep. I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't eating. I lost weight. Because I'm like, what did you do to deserve this?
Quad.
What did you do? And I was beating myself up about it.
Let me say this. If it wasn't for that smoke detector, this would have been a very different interview. I guarantee you that's the only thing kept Carlos where he needed to be. Let's keep going. So Carlos asked her, does she want to continue on Married to Medicine? This is what she said. Let's get into it. And Carlos is literally about to fall asleep.
Why are we underrated? That bothers me. With all the hurt and pain I got in me right now, it still bothers me. Because we get up and we give it every single week. So I don't understand. So that, I don't want to be so emotional. My God, I'm sorry.
No, you love the show.
So needless to say, she never answered his question about her wanting to continue on the show, right? She just talked about how unrated Married to Medicine is. And Married to Medicine is a great show. So they went on to talk, and he was telling her how much we love her on the show, how she gives story, how he doesn't understand how Tyler Perry hasn't casted her on something on BET+. I'll play that little video at the end. Let's keep going. Quad never answered his question about being on the show, but he did speak to people talking about how he talks about other shows instead of his own shows. And he said that he's a fan of this genre, which is reality TV. People could ask him, does that mean you're a fan of all these other shows and not your own shows? Because of how people feel you don't pay attention to your own shows. Now, that's a question for Carlos to answer. I'm just putting it out there because that's how I got it. But he did say that he said that he knew Married to Medicine was different when Simone and Cecil were saying they were going to get a divorce. And at their reunion, they all rallied around them and said no. And it was a real moment. That was a very real moment in television, in reality TV, right? To say that much. But he said that he wants the cast to be there for Quad. And then he said, Quad, I want you to be there for the cast. I know that Carlos sitting here listening to Quad, I know that he understands what people mean when they say she does not take accountability. Because she can't even answer all the questions. So Quad cleaned up and apologized for a couple of things. She cleared up the 3-hour waiting time with Simone that she had. She said she was doing one scene and then she had to get in Atlanta traffic and go do the scene with Simone. And she apologized to Simone for that. Now, I can attribute to that. Atlanta traffic is horrible. So I believe that part. And then she genuinely apologized to Toya and Eugene. I think if she had done that on the show, I think this would have been different for Quad. Because I felt it was genuine. It's your girl, Millie Chun. I couldn't get the video in, but I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.